Every business in Ghana must be carried out under a legally recognized business entity. So you cannot do a business in Ghana unless the business it's been operated under one of these three entities I'm going to discuss in this video. I want to explain to you the three types of business entities you can actually form in Ghana and how you can run your business under either of them. I'm Godwin Selassie Dakbo, and this is Make It Legal. Make it legal. This is a three-part series that will give you all the overview you need to understand businesses in Ghana, especially what business vehicle will best suit the business you currently operate. And then we'll explain to you all of these three business entities in three separate videos. This is a part one. We'll have the part two come up, and then part three will be the last part. So be sure to watch the video to the end, and I'll give you some intro of the part two in this very video. So let's get straight into it. So what are the three business entities that you can actually operate in Ghana? The very first one is sole proprietorships, and the second one is partnerships, and the last one is incorporated companies. So I take you through the very first type in this video, where I explain to you what exactly are sole proprietorship, what exactly are the forms that we have, and what are the implications of running a business as a sole proprietor in Ghana. When we talk about sole proprietorships in Ghana, we are referring to any business which is carried out under a registered name or the name of the individual person who is operating it. Now, they can be formed by individual persons, like one person can actually form one entity as a sole proprietorship business that run the business. Then we can also have a company that is a limited liability company forming a sole proprietorship to operate its business. Now in Ghana, it is often referred to as one-man business. Of course, you'll get to learn that it's not necessarily because it is just one person who can form it, but it is necessary because the liabilities of the business falls on one person alone, not the company separately from the person who is operating it. Under Ghanaian law, sole proprietorships come in two forms. We have the informal sole proprietorships and then the formal sole proprietorship. Now, let me explain to you all of that. The first one, which is the informal type, simply comes in this form. The person has a business idea and wants to implement that business idea. So he sets up a business entity in his own name. He has not used any other name to operate it. He's called Godwin Selassie Dakbo, and he calls his business Godwin Selassie Dakbo Ventures. So he is not required to register it. All he has to do is to start the business. No filing of forms is required. No documentation is required. He goes straight and start a business in his own name. So it could be his first name, his surname, or his initials. It's not required to necessarily register that if he's doing it that way. That is the informal type of sole proprietorship. Even though you are not required to do any documentation or registration when you are doing an informal sole proprietorship, you are by law required to comply with the regulations of taxation. So you will still be required to pay your taxes. You pay SNIT for all your employees, and you pay salary and all the payee that is required to be paid on the employee's income. If you're enjoying this video, I'd like you to click like and then like the video, and it's the subscription button there. Click on it to subscribe to the channel. When you are done subscribing, ensure that you click on notification bell so that you can always get notified of our new video, especially the part 2 of this video, which you need to watch. The second form of sole proprietorship you may see is the formal sole proprietorship. For this type, you are required to register it because you are carrying the business in a name that is not your own name or your own initials or your own first name. Maybe you are using a name like Make It Legal Ventures. Make It Legal is not my name, so I'll be required to register that business name. Remember, you're not registering the business. It is the business name that you are registering. So it is important that you get a decision clear. For informal ones, you're not required to register them necessarily because you're operating it in your own name, either surname or initials or your first name. Or a company is operating in its own name as a company limited by share or limited liability company. For formal sole proprietorships, you are required to register the name because the business is being run under a name different from your own name or different from your first name or your initial. So you are required to register it. So how do you actually do the registration? All you need first of all is to identify the business name that you want to register, and then you identify the place of business. You also get your personal details, your name, your email address, your postal address, and all of those details. And then you know the nature of businesses you want to operate. Once you have this basic information, you go to the registrar general department, and then you fill a form, which is Form A, and you have your Ghana card accompanying that form, and then you submit it. and pay the necessary registration fee. Then you have registered a sole proprietorship business. You have registered that business name, and then you can operate with it. So what are the implications of running a business as a sole proprietor or sole trader? The first implication is that there is no difference between ownership of the company and management. In other words, the one who manages it is the one who owns it. Management is not independently responsible for certain things, and ownership is responsible for different things. The owner could decide to employ certain people to be the managers, to be the employees, but their liability, as far as it is a liability emanating from the business, will be traced to those persons as the owner's agent. So it's important to know that you are not different from the business management. You and the business are one. The second implication of running a business as a sole proprietor is that there is no separate legal personality. This is not the same as ownership and management, although they are related. For companies limited by shares, there is a separate personality. The company itself has its own capacity, has its own personality in law. But when it comes to sole proprietorship, you are not separate from the business. You and the business is just one. Your personalities are not different at all. You're just one. The third implication you need to note is that there is an unlimited liability for debts and business obligations of the business on you as the sole proprietor. If the business owes debt and creditors decide to recover their money, they will come after you directly. They can sell whatever properties they see that the business has at its premises. They can sell all of those, and when they are done, they can come to your house and take your personal properties to sell to recover their money. But if it were operating as a company limited by shares, they can only exhaust the asset that the company has. And if you have shares that you have not yet paid for, they ask you to pay for those shares. After that is done, they cannot come to your house and pick your private cars and seize your houses to defray the debt. But for sole proprietorship, that can be done for you because you and the company are one, your liabilities are one, and they are unlimited. What it means is that when you owe a debt of 10 million USD, all of that will be borne by you and you alone. If the business even owes that debt, you will be liable to pay that debt. There's no limit. You can say you have used only 10,000 Ghana cedis to start a business, but now that the business is operating, it has incurred, say, a debt of 10,000 US dollars. You will not say that because your capital that you used to start a business was only 10,000 cedis, you cannot be responsible for the debt of 10,000 US dollars. That is not how it works. You are responsible for the debt that comes with operating the business as a sole proprietor. The last implication, but not the least, is that the business you are operating will not survive beyond your death. As soon as you die, the business dies with you. It cannot be passed on to other persons to run. It goes directly into your estate, and your successors will inherit it. And if they know how to run it, they will run it. If they don't know how to run the business, then that is the end of the business. So the life of the business is dependent on your life. If you die, the business dies. In part 2 of this video, I explained to you what partnerships are and why you should incorporate one, or what you need to know about partnerships. I believe you like the video. Click like to like it, and it's the subscription button there. Click on it to subscribe to the channel. When you are done subscribing, ensure that you click on the notification bell so that you can always get notified of our new video, especially the part 2 of this video, which you need to watch. I'm Godwin Salasi Dakbo, and this is Make It Legal. Make it legal.